Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to our channel. Things are indeed happening in Nigeria, and information, secrets that before now used to be hidden, is beginning to find its way into the media space. And we are wondering, could this be true? And if this is true, then Nigeria is in it, or is in actually a deep mess. But since yesterday, FFK Femi Fanikayode has been screaming and shouting, say this is a confessionary statement and very indicting too. But Nigerians are wondering, what is going on? Could this be true? Your guess is as good as mine. Oh. But before we go into the newspaper to find out what it is that is biting everybody right now in Nigeria, that is shaking the tables, that Nigerians are wondering if this is true, then Nigerians really need to buckle their shoes and dot their eyes and cross their teeth, and we are actually in for it. But before we go into the newspaper to find out what it is, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. They said Abubakar Kawu Baraje has traced the origin of the current insecurity in the country to the influx of Fulani from neighboring countries like Sierra Leone, Mali, Senegal, Niger, and even Chad. They said they were brought into the country for election purposes in 2015. All this one to remove Jonathan. Now, wow, let's continue. Well, he said this in Ilorin as part of his activities to mark his 70th birthday anniversary. Does it mean all this what they already knew, but they kept quiet? Let's continue. He also backed self-help initiatives of the Southwest governors, stating that responses of Sunday Igboho to the Herdsmen menace were necessary because the federal government failed in its principal responsibility to secure life and property. Aye. Now, wow, a lot of things are happening in this country. This is true. Let's continue. Baraji said that the ruling party was only wasting its time. According to the former PDP chairman, who also once served as the party national secretary, the chairman of the breakaway fraction of the PDP that formed the nucleus of the current ruling party, which means we are talking about an APC member here. He said the Fulani men causing havoc in the country are actually not Nigerians. He said they are aboriginal to Nigeria. They're not even Nigerians. So we are not asking the right questions on how the same Fulani we have been living will suddenly turn out to be a menace. We also must also ask how they had access to their guns, the ex-party chairman asked. These are pertinent questions, These are quite intelligent questions, if you ask me. But let's continue. He's the one telling Nigerians, why are we not asking some of these questions? Then all of a sudden, the Fulanis that used to live with us in peace, all of a sudden they're now very hostile. What changed? What gave? What are the dots we did not put, and what are the T's we did not cross? Baraji stated that the Fulani men wreaking havoc in the country are not the Nigerian Fulani. The security agencies have not been open about the nature of the problem. This one is strong. I could still also remember that FFK Femi Fanikayode, even in his social media handle, said that this is indicting and this is very confessionary. And I asked the question, if this is true, why is it taking him time? Why is it now that he's confessing? If this is true, because in as much he said it, yes, of a truth, but it's still alleged until proven so. But a lot of things have been said. If you have seen the video where one of the young girls that were kidnapped in Biafra said something, he said some of the statements made by the bandits, were quite indicting too. I could still even remember a video that one of the Fulani leaders, bandits leaders, made in the bush. He said that he wants the president himself to come to the bush and negotiate with him. And I was wondering, what sort of insult is this? How can you tell a sitting president, a commander-in-chief of all armed forces in Nigeria, to come and negotiate with you in your bush? He didn't even say, okay, please give me some small leverage. Let me be able to speak with one of the service chiefs, on behalf of the president, so that you can just hear me out. But he said, let the president himself, a whole president of a country, to come and meet him inside the bush. Now, what nerve? They got nerve. They've got guts. And I was wondering, what could warrant such a statement? With all these things coming up, could this truly be true? And if it is true, is it worth it? Why not just to go to the polls normally 2015? And because you could see statements that are very funny, like bandits are not criminals. You begin to wonder which one is criminal, which one is bandit. What's the difference between banditry and criminality, for crying out loud? Eh? Something that is unlawful is criminal. What is not criminal? What is criminal? It is actually, you look at the statement, they're just, playing round and round with words. Telling Nigerians not to call them bandits, you should call them beautiful name. I begin to wonder. Gumena is now the Minister of Terrorism Affairs. I'm wondering, how did we get to this level? That is now speaking on behalf of who? How did we get to this level? That now this kind of statement being made by a politician. What else don't we know in this country? Now that if because it's alleged until proven so, if this is true, how then would the government be able to chase these guys away? What was the agreement signed? Because if there's an agreement signed, they have to meet it. And if meeting it is taking the lands of the indigenous people of Nigeria, they will not agree. Then we have a problem in our hands. If we have a problem in our hands, then why not allow people who wants to defend their land to defend it peacefully? But if they do that, then we have anarchy also in our hands. How did they even the man asked a very Baraje asked a very nice question that I'm even also wondering, I'm also asking, how did they have access to guns that even an average Nigerian cannot have? Okay, now God so kind of started giving order, anybody caught with arms should be dealt with. If you ask me, should have been a case of shoot aside, so we'll be reducing the amount of problems we have in this country. Because this is getting out of hand. Although some persons have been saying that some of those statements, that statement was directed to those who have been defending themselves, like Amoteko and ESN. I don't know how true that is, but they said any persons caught with that's not licensed. Let's start, seeing how we can secure our land. This is really bad if it is true. But then, if you check very well, it's one of the politicians that said it. And for him to say it at his 70th birthday, that's an old man. You cannot force an old man to say what you can't. At his age, what would he gain in lying? I'm just imagining it. What would an old man of that repute want to gain in lying? But that's a very strong indictment, though, if you ask me. It's a very strong statement. But the question is, Nigeria is even fantastically corrupt. Who will hold who to ransom? Who will hold who to judgment? Who will put one the other to accountability? Where we are right now, may God help us. This is really a serious matter. Let's put in our comment section. What is your take? Do you believe what this 70 years old man is saying? That these guys are not the Fulani Nigerians we have. They're actually foreigners, bandits brought in just to win the election or obtain the election of 2015. And now they're now the menace that we're now living with.